The British Medical Journal is setting up a panel of experts to investigate academic papers it published which questioned the widespread use of statins, which are given to people who have high cholesterol. About 7 million people across the UK are taking statins. The BMJ paper, which was published last October, claimed that 20% of patients could suffer side effects. But the findings have been challenged, and now the journal admits errors were made with some statistics prior to publishing. Well, let's get more details, first of all, from our health correspondent, Adam Brimelow. Apologies, we will hear more from Adam in the next hour, but I'm pleased to say with me in the studio is Professor John Greenwood, who is head of the Department of Cell Biology at UCL, University College London, and he's worked extensively with statins in his research. A very good afternoon to you. Your thoughts, first of all, briefly, just on the fact that this was published last October. Now it's being pulled effectively. I mean, that's quite unusual in itself, isn't it?
It isn't common, no, but nevertheless it's part of the scientific process, and quite rightly, Professor Collins has picked up on something that got through the peer review process, where experts look at a publication before it's accepted for publication to check for flaws. These erroneous statements got through. It's been picked up, and to the credit of the BMJ, they're now acting on it.
And do you have concerns about the potential ramifications of people reading it and perhaps altering what their doctor has effectively told them to do?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, this is really what it's about. I mean, the major problem here is making sure that patients and the population at large are informed correctly. And quite clearly, if people believe that there are much greater side effects or more common side effects than there really are, this may influence their decision to either start taking statins or even stop taking statins when they're already on it. And this could have long-term, more serious effects to their health.
I mean, would you have concerns yourself? Because I suppose it's fair to say every drug that any of us take has potentially some side effect.
Yes, absolutely. And statins aren't without side effects, but it's the level of side effects and the degree to how serious these side effects are that has to be judged very, very carefully. And in these publications, it was asserted that the side effects were much greater and more frequent than indeed all the large studies that have looked at this would indicate.
I mean, it does strike me it's an extraordinarily large number of people in the UK who are on them, but as someone who has done a lot of research in this field, I mean, are you surprised by that? Do you think that's just representative of how we are as a nation? What's your thoughts about the extent of the use of statins? Well,
statins are a very, very successful drug and have been proven beyond shadow of doubt that they are beneficial in reducing cardiovascular risk and disease. And indeed, they're such extraordinary drugs that they're now being looked at in other areas of disease, such as multiple sclerosis and other autoimmune disease and inflammatory diseases. So these are extraordinary drugs. And so it doesn't surprise me that they are widely used, and not just in the UK, but throughout the world.
Yes, and I mean, and pro rata, I mean, are they used in such quantities in other countries? I mean, I suppose I'm saying, are we at all unusual in that?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, Europe and the US use these drugs extensively as well. The figures are 60, 70 million around the world using such drugs. So, given the extent of use and the limited side effects that one sees, one has to sort of understand that when reports come out suggesting that there are much greater incidence of side effects, we have to sort of raise this issue and make it clear to patients that this perhaps isn't the case. And
if someone is hearing about this, reading about this today, they're on them, they have concerns, in essence, what's your advice as to what they should do?
Well, certainly my advice would be to keep taking them, and of course take advice from your GP or your consultant, and make sure that you have your regular checkups. And it's often associated with the concentration, the amount of statins that you're taking. But on the basis of these papers, I certainly wouldn't stop taking your statins.
Very good to have your expert opinion. Thank you very much indeed, Professor John Greenwood from UCL, University College London. Thank you.